Wait, no. What? Or should I like, you know, like a hard copy of it? Should I use it as my final product?
I would have, if I were you personally, I would have a PowerPoint, and I would also have your workout as a
Also for my, that's still after my final product.
I think you should have something else to talk about. I'm just saying, like, I know it's more work, but I think for you especially.
I'm just not talking about the workout.
Yeah, something have a PowerPoint for that, and then have the workout as you do.
Yeah, and I'm really
I would look at the workout while you business.
Naturally.
Alright, take about 30 more seconds to try and wrap up.
Bullseye!
Sorry.
Alright, great. Please go ahead. Hopefully that song was inspiring to all of you as you enter kind of the last home stretch for our projects. Let's go ahead. I want to talk about something math related for about 2 minutes.
Why math?
I'll explain why in a second. Let's go ahead. Please close your Chromebooks and get eyes up here. Make sure headphones are out also. So again, just close your Chromebooks halfway. Get eyes up here. Waiting on a few people in the back. Even if you're still working, just go ahead and join us for now. Alright, great. Let's go ahead. I just wanted to share with you really quickly. I asked you guys to fill out a survey for me last week, which I really appreciated. I went ahead and I was reading through, especially like the one word to describe math class, which I thought was pretty interesting. I like pretty much put up here. This one was one I thought was pretty funny. I'm glad, regardless of the math, if you left this class with anything, I guess, yeah, I guess you at least kind of got this like 1960s, 1970s like slang lingo, like cool beans, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but like, we never talked about the etymology. So at least the 1960s will live on through you guys.
Yeah, a lot of people put eh.
A lot of people put eh, yeah. There were some people, and I want to say one thing. I really appreciated the honesty. Like I know, and the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because while I'm really glad that a lot of people found that you're interesting, like fun, engaging, whatever, I appreciate the people who gave me, aside from just this one word, like really honest feedback. Like yeah, like if you thought the class was all right, I really appreciate you telling me that and then answering that more specifically in other questions. Some of what you guys shared, what I read was really interesting. Some of my favorites were like benign. Someone's class was like benign. I've never. Does anyone know what that means?
What?
Yeah, like a tumor. It means like a tumor that's harmless. So I guess it kind of means harmless or gentle. I thought that was an interesting adjective. Go ahead. Here are. Yeah, here are 6 ones. I put a star next to 2 of these. This one I thought was really funny. It says, wear a sweater to help you concentrate on the work.
That's called.
I know a lot of people complain about the temperature here. So I found that to be funny. This one right here also. Ask as many questions as you think is too many, then ask 5 more. I really appreciated that. I know that like we talk a lot about the math, the content, but if you leave this class with anything, I hope you leave with kind of this like spirit of asking questions. Like, there's no stupid questions. We talked about that. And yeah. These were all really great. Do the functional project when it's due. I thought was pretty good advice as well. This was the last one I just wanted to talk about quickly. I gave you guys this question. There's 4 statements right here to describe different people, and I had an other category also. I intentionally included these first 2, just because they describe kind of like, I know a lot of people come into math class. and see it as a challenge. Like there's definitely points in the year where you get frustrated, you encounter setbacks. It's not by any means the easiest subject. And I know a lot of that is kind of persevering through hard problems, like frustrating situations. I was so happy to read this. There were a very small, like I can count on less than one hand how many people answered the question this first way. And it's like people I've had conversations with who have been like, hey, like I sometimes, Mr. G, like really don't see the point of the math that we're learning. I hope that over the course of this year that you've kind of like seen a little more about how math can affect your day-to-day life, can like be applicable later in life. But even aside from that, just be something that is a skill that teaches you a lot of different things. So problem solving, how to persevere through different problems. These are all things that we encountered in math class and you've all gone through this year. So I was really happy to see a lot of people saying like, I know math is challenging, but I still work hard to improve. So thank you guys again for that. I want to talk really quickly now about oral presentation. Let's shift gears to the Genius Project. Go ahead, you just filled out a survey about kind of where you're at for the project. Let's turn and talk for a second. The two things I want you guys to think about are what's like that thing that makes public speaking so nerve-wracking? Like I know a lot of people get really nervous when they're speaking. When I was in high school, I was a terrible public speaker, and now I'm a teacher, which is pretty funny. And then secondly, what's the one thing you can focus on improving after the feedback you got from your public pitch? You tried it once already, you got feedback, what can you do better this time? Take about 2 full minutes to talk with the person next to you or someone nearby about these two things. I'm going to ask you guys to all share out. Go.
What makes public speaking count? What makes public speaking count?
Just wait for it. And then Ross, all right? Okay, if the second person has not shared yet, please switch so both people have a chance to share.
You think more about this, but like I talk to people like casual interviews.
Alright, great. Let's go ahead. Please wrap up your conversation. And then let me get everyone back up to the front. Great, I want to hear from a few different people. Andres, alright, let's go ahead. I want you to really capture like what's that thing, what's the challenge with public speaking that you face or you know that other people face. Let me get hands, and I'd love to hear from a few different people. Hey.
Me?
Yeah.
Just being unprepared.
Have you ever been in that position?
Yep.
Can you, in as much detail or not detail as you like, describe like what happened?
Oh, in 4th grade, we had like this thing called Sutter Sport where we dressed up as someone that's from the Gold Rush era. And I came prepared, I came dressed up. I got my note cards. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I was really rich. I found a lot of gold with my bare hands.
Okay. So you had the whole deal going on, but you forgot to like have that part, practice in advance.
And plus, since I was relying on my note cards, I didn't study them.
Yeah, so that's one thing we'll talk about in a second. Like note card, good idea, bad idea. I'll go through that in a second. What's up? Speaking in front of people you're not comfortable with. Yeah, stranger danger. I don't know this person, how can I present to them? Sorry, I was just talking, that's not it. Alright. have both of those parties there. You'll have your peers who you know and love. You'll also have different parents there, maybe adults who you haven't met before that you'll be presenting to. Other thoughts? I heard some other people. Let's talk about some of the specifics. What are some of the specific techniques or like things in oral presentation?
I think just people like not being like confident in what they're trying to say, or like not being confident in their opinion.
Lack of confidence. Yeah. What does someone in another class mentioned 2 words? What are like the 2 words that a lot of people are like the death of public speaking? And choking when you start. Yeah, and like are like the death of public speaking. That's what a lot of teachers say. A lot of times that can be due to a lot of reasons, but those are things that come. Those are symptoms of a lack of preparation, maybe a lack of confidence in what you're saying. You're not prepared, so you say like and as a way to fill space or time. Any other things to add? Cool. I want to go. You guys have hit on a lot of them. I'm gonna hit some of the. I'll just put the rubric back up here. This is one that you've seen a lot. We had this on the pitch. This was actually in your document for the pitch. And I want to make sure everyone catches this. So if you're kind of.
Damn, bro.
Waiting for a few people right now. Carlos, John, you go. We got you good? Cool. Alright, let's go ahead. Oral presentation. Someone in a previous class, actually Caitlin Tran is the one who mentioned, she said voice modulation. All that means is like a really fancy way to describe some of this, like a change in volume or inflection. Like when I'm talking about something that's normal, I might speak like this, but then when I'm talking about like my Genius project, I'm really excited, I might change the volume of my voice or the inflection. I might use gestures, body movements to show different things, and engage my audience. This is going to be more important when you are presenting to a live audience, bless you. When you're presenting in front of a live audience, just because you will not be speaking to a camera, you'll be talking to an actual person, you'll make eye contact with them, things like that. Other questions? Cool. All I want to say is I'll let you guys go ahead and get started with work time. Some people were like, what do I actually talk about? What should the substance of my presentation be? Andres asked a great question. He was like, oh, so what am I actually going to do on Genius Night? I know you guys went over this a little bit, but the format basically is you'll be in a room or a space in a building where you are with people who have a similar topic. So for example, if I had a music video, or if I produced a song or something like that, you'll probably be with other people who have videos that they're gonna share. If I'm someone who's performing, maybe I'm gonna like actually perform a song or a dance, you'll probably be in a space with those people. If you're someone who did a research project, you'll probably be in a room with those people. But everyone, the common denominator is everyone's gonna have a presentation that they deliver that is 90 seconds to 3 minutes in length. We'll talk about details in a second. Okay.
Is it like one by one goes, or is it like a long?
That's a great question. So it's going to be, Genius Night is 1 hour. It's going to be, there's 3 different teachers who are grading. So you know who your grader is. At some point, I know, like, oh my gosh. At some point during that hour, your grader is going to come around. You'll know what time this is. We'll have a schedule that we share with you. So maybe I know that at 6:25, Mr. G is going to come around and grade my presentation, so I should be prepared then. When that's not your time, you're going to be presenting to other people who are walking around. It'll be kind of like the celebration of learning night that we have.
That's terrible.
I thought that was so fun. Basically, bring it back up here. Basically, what you're going to have is half the time where you're presenting, you're at your station, you're stationed by your prop or visual, whatever it might be. And you're sharing that. While you're not sharing or while you're not being scored, you're also going to have the chance, probably for maybe like the second half, to be walking around, checking out other people's projects and being that live audience for them. Thanks for your question. Cool. David, do you have a question?